new report to the state legislature is full of facts and heartache. The Washington State Patrol's Missing and Murdered Native American Women report summarizes the feedback and criticism from Native communities about law enforcement efforts to find missing women. In fact, one of the key findings is that the state is not using all of the systems available, as well as inconsistent reporting methods. The author of the report, Captain Monica Alexander, spent months talking with families of the missing and tribal communities. She's here to share more. I am so thrilled you've done this. This has been an issue for a long time, and it's an issue for communities of color as well, that the media doesn't cover things, the data don't bring all of these things in, and we're kind of behind in serving these communities. What did you find?
Well, I found that there's a lot of animosity and frustration and sadness and heartache in these communities, and they just want us to take them seriously. They want us to work as diligently on Native American communities as we do on every other community. And that's not a large ask. It's saying just treat us fairly, right?
Not at all. And so HB 2951 was signed by the governor. Tell us what that does.
So what that did was ask the State Patrol to go out and have several meetings with the Native American communities, and then at the end of those meetings summarize it in a report. And the report is what you were mentioning before.
Right.
And tell the governor, tell the state what we found and what do we need to do next to move forward.
I read the report yesterday. Summarize for us what you found.
I found a lot of people that just want to be heard. There's a lot of mistrust. There's a lot of concerns about how law enforcement views this community, and they want some changes. There are systems that we have that we're not fully using.
And why is that?
Well, so NamUs, that's one of the databases that can be used. It's not strictly for law enforcement. Anyone can use it. But out of the 56 that I discovered, only 13 of those were listed in NamUs because as a state, we're not mandated to use that. So we use the systems that we're mandated to use, right. But the more visual, the more people see this, the more chance of people being located.
One of the complaints that the Native community had was that people might dismiss women who'd gone missing as, you know, they're on drugs, they're alcoholics, they've just run off, they'll come back, and that there was this lack of seriousness about the fact that they were missing, which is, you know, shocking, really. Tell me what you heard.
We heard exactly that, is that family members feel like when they go to report, they're told to come back in 24 or 48 hours. Now, I will say that I talked with Police Chief Best here in Seattle, and she said no. I also talked to their lead investigator on missing persons, and he said they take reports the minute someone walks in and says someone's missing. But that's just one law enforcement agency in the state. So we have to communicate. We have to figure out where that's happening, and it's about education and letting people know that when someone comes in to report, it's our responsibility to take that report and put it in the systems that we have, put them on the State Patrol website, put them into NamUs, put them into NCIC. So we're all looking for these people.
With equity across the board, no matter where you come from. There was a piece of artwork at the end of the report that was heartbreaking, and it contained a quote of somebody to you. I mean, who did the artwork, first of all?
So this was displayed when we were at one of the meetings in Yakima, and I don't know exactly who did this artwork, but it was so profound and so beautiful that we wanted to include it in the report. Because we thought that in the saying underneath it, the statement.
Yeah, let me tell people, it says, missing and murdered Indigenous women have disappeared not once, but 3 times in life, in the media, and in the data. I just bawled when I saw that. What a horrible thing to have happen, but also a horrible message to communities that really needs to be connected. So what are we going to do?
So moving forward, we're going to do a lot of things. House Bill 1713, which was sponsored by Representative Mossbrocker, the same person that sponsored 2951, she was able to get that through, and the State Patrol is going to get 2 new tribal liaisons that will work in the Office of Government Media Relations. They'll work east and west, so we'll have one based on this side of the mountain, the other on the other. And then let's start communicating. Let's start breaking down some of those walls and barriers that have kept us apart. We need to work together on this issue. And I believe that by us learning the protocol and the culture and being accepted by the Native American community as wanting to be, we want to be helpful. I mean, this was such an honor for me to be a part of this. When I was looking at the video, there were so many ladies on there that I met through this journey and that I have been able to stay in touch with. And it's so important because when you start feeling like, okay, they're starting to trust me a little bit, they're starting to communicate with me more openly, they're starting to honestly tell me maybe where I misstepped even. And I'm okay with that because I don't want to do it again. If I did it, it was
Yeah.
in ignorance and not in intention.
And that's so important for people to feel listened to, and for whoever they're talking to be
Yes.
unafraid to be criticized so that we can find a better way. There are pictures that are up on trucks now as well. Can you tell me about that?
Yes, this is a Homeward Bound program that one of our troopers started this program years ago, and she has passed away. She passed away last year, Renee Paget, and this was her passion, was to get missing persons home. And so she worked in our commercial vehicle division, and she worked with Gordon Trucking back then. Now Camway Trucking has taken it over, and we were able to get Alyssa McLemore on a truck, and we had the unveiling almost 2 weeks ago now. And what a wonderful opportunity and ceremony, and the families came out and they prayed over the truck, they blessed the truck, they embraced it. And Tina McLemore, I wanted her to be here today with me, but she was on vacation, but she is such a dynamic advocate for her niece. She has gone all over the state and into Canada with posters of her niece, just trying to get attention to this issue. Right. And she showed up at every meeting that I had. And she sat on the front row with this poster. And when this opportunity came forward, she was the first person I thought of, and we were able to get her in partnership.
Amazing.
So
And we need to do this for everyone. But
yes.
I mean, just on behalf of the sisterhood in general, I thank you, because I feel like not only has this been an unequal response to a lot of missing women, but perpetrators know.
Yes.
Who won't get attention, and they know who to victimize in that way.
You're absolutely right.
Can't, we can't have that.
No.
We can't.
No.
Thank you so much. It's always good to see you.
You also.
Bless you for the
Thank
work
you.
you do. The Washington State Patrol wants to remind us all that if we have any information on the missing women, to call 911 immediately.